Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So Casper has been a project that I have been talking about and actually holding for a very long time. Most of my Casper was actually bought during the 2022 lows because, again, I just really wanted to not only lower my average on Casper, but also get a much larger bag so that I could stay Casper, hold it for the long term, and just really kind of, focus on what the team behind Casper was doing. Now, again, the first time that I started to actually really buy Casper and even talk about Casper as well was around like October of 2021. So it's been a long time since, we've been really kind of addressing Casper, holding Casper, and following Casper. But now I think that we're finally getting to a moment where Casper could start to have that big expansion. And I'm not just talking about price action. I'm talking about moves being made, adoption of the network, growth of the network, and even, at some point in time, I do think that the price action will also catch up. Now, it hasn't been the easiest hold, and I'm sure that you guys are all aware of that because we've had a big problem happen. I mean, between Casper Labs completely ditching Casper Network, a team that promised us the world for years, I mean, it was not a good time. It's still not a good time to be a Casper holder, technically going off of just price action. But I do think that everyone's view of Casper will change very soon because, the new overall path here for Casper is technically very bullish. And I have been following what the new, it's not even a new team because, again, they've been tied to Casper for a while. It's just now they are finally behind the steering wheel. They are in the driver's seat. But what they are doing here, the moves, the plans, and even so far the work being put into Casper over the last couple months is something completely refreshing from what we've been really kind of hearing about around Casper prior, to Casper Labs leaving, which I'm very excited about. Now, in terms of price action, this is what the overall price action for Casper looks like. We are in this falling wedge pattern. I just grabbed a random image off of Google just to kind of show you guys what a falling wedge pattern looks like. And we're basically in it, right? This is what it looks like. And if we really think about what's going on here around Casper, we're just waiting for something to happen here. We've been really kind of trailing in this downtrend since going all the way back. I mean, we didn't even make a higher high here back in December. Our high was actually in November. And if we think about that, we've been in this downtrend for over 114 days, and this is pretty depressing price action. So everyone's just kind of sitting here waiting and saying like, all right, well, is the price done? Is it dead? Is it going to return back to, any bullish level? Like what's going on? And ultimately what we really kind of look for is the sentiment around Casper to be completely dead, which one it is. Number two, we look for this breakout. And I do think that we've been retesting this breakout wedge, right? We've been retesting that upper wedge for a while, even going all the way back here to like January. And we've had a tap here in February. And even in March, this month, we've already had a few retests of that. I do expect the next big move here on this chart to actually be that breakout. We'll probably retest the trend line before we do continue to the upside. And also, we need to be aware that there could potentially be, an inverse head and shoulders pattern that actually prints out here on this chart. Meaning, we already do have this nice shoulder over here. It's a significant wick. This could be our head. And then we could have, the other shoulder being over here where we actually have a line. So say for so, we have something like this. Just to kind of show you guys real quick what this would look like, where we have this nice retest of this upper trend line. We chop a little bit, build a floor around this level, which is also that wick level from back in February. And then we finally get that big break to the upside. We break over the trend line, retest the trend line, and then continue. Again, this would drag the price action on a little bit longer, but it would technically be beneficial because we would have a stronger base here. We would actually build out a nice solid floor of support as well. And then we would have that continuation to the upside. But I do expect Casper to perform fairly well this cycle. We're just kind of waiting for the entire market to bounce back, because so far the overall price action since roughly like the middle of December has just not been that great. And we already know what happened in January between, the Trump administration launching meme coins and then the trade war beginning and tariff discussions. So it hasn't been a very bullish environment around crypto anyways for the last few months. So again, I do expect most of this market to wake up in a huge way once we start to kind of get past all the noise and, traditional markets like stocks actually look fairly bullish yet again. But outside of this, let's actually talk about what's been happening around Casper over the last couple weeks. Number one, here we have a breakdown of the month's session. So this is actually February. This is a full breakdown of, what happened around February. So we have this month's session was packed with major updates on Casper 2.0, ecosystem growth, and new integrations. Check out our thread covering all the key updates. So Michael provided an in-depth update on the rollout and progress of Casper 2.0, confirming that Casper 2.0 has successfully moved through DevNet to integration network and with testnet and mainnet next, which we do have a few updates on that. Ecosystem contributions, over 30 components, including Casper Live, Casper Cloud, updated integration libraries for Casper Click, and SDKs are now fully Casper 2.0 ready. Casper Wallet upgrades. The Casper Wallet has been updated to support the new features of Casper 2.0 on DevNet and Integration Network. Developers now have access to all these tools and they're fully equipped to start building on Casper 2.0. Casper.fan Season 3 launch with a massive 5 million Casper prize pool. The season introduces a new raffle-based reward system, ensuring a fairer distribution. 30,000 plus new users have already joined. So again, you're starting to see quite a bit of the community showing up for Casper still. Updates on liquid staking with RWY protocol. The DApp is progressing well with the smart contract team, currently finalizing the on-chain functionality, and liquid staking transactions are already live on the integration network. New integrations and partnerships, Chainlink oracles, are coming to Casper, providing dApps with real-time price feeds. MetaMask Snap for Casper is under review for approval, and a token minter is launching in April. This is actually going to enable anyone to create customizable tokens on Casper and immediately list them on the friendly market DEX for instant liquidity. To exchange listings, Michael confirmed that discussions are ongoing with major global and regional exchanges to expand Casper accessibility, particularly in regions like Turkey. So again, that's actually very exciting because we do need a lot more Casper listings, especially on some of those top tier exchanges. We did talk about that actually in the interview a few months back. We also have Casper Execution Engine preview. Developers will soon experience Casper's multi-VM capabilities, making it one of the few Layer 1 networks to support multiple execution environments on the same layer. The latest developer preview took place on February 27th. And then, of course, marketing and growth initiatives. A new long-term marketing campaign is launching alongside Casper 2.0 to boost ecosystem awareness and adoption. So again, I'm very excited for what's about to happen. And we have been hearing about Casper 2.0 for a while, and I do think that it's going to be a huge game changer. Here we actually have the execution developer preview, which they did talk about a lot of things happening around Casper 2.0 with, for an example, like updates on the new execution engine, benchmarking methodologies for gas accounting, optimizing gas costs and execution efficiency, comparisons between Casper 2.0 and previous iterations, and then, of course, future considerations for VM performance and blockchain efficiency. So I think anyone that really wants to learn about what's happening here around Casper from a dev side or from like the network efficiency side should go and check out these developer previews, because they provide us with a lot more information behind the scenes of what's coming to Casper and what's changing and what's also being upgraded completely. That's going to allow for a lot more adoption, growth, and ultimately, utility to really kind of expand as well on Casper. But outside of that, when we think about what's going on right now, over here, there was a great post made by the House of Chimera where this did include Michael. So it's undeniable that Sonic Labs has been crushing on network analytics and frankly taking over crypto Twitter. Now, if you guys don't know about Sonic Labs, this was actually previously Phantom. So Phantom, back in 2021, just a little bit of a history breakdown. Phantom originally got a lot of flack from the HBAR community because everyone said that Phantom was actually copying Hedera's code to be extremely efficient. Now, so far, Sonic did upgrade from Phantom, and they released, basically just kind of merged over to S. And so far, I mean, it hasn't been doing that well because of the market dynamics, but it was doing pretty good leading into like the end of February. But this is one of the biggest projects in the space at this current moment in time, and it is because of the overall efficiencies behind it and the analytics behind the network. And we actually have here Casper Network is aiming to follow Sonic with Casper 2.0. But what makes it special? Well, Michael did explain to them in about 4 minutes and 40 some seconds. I know it's going to be a little bit lengthy, but listen closely. You won't be disappointed.
So we're launching an entirely new consensus protocol. So Casper 1.x shipped with an implementation of the Casper correct by construction protocol, which was developed in sort of the mid 2010s, first within Ethereum and then picked up by Casper researchers. That resulted in a protocol that we called Highway Protocol. Um, and what we found over the years is that while Highway is super resilient, there's because of its resiliency, or not because of its resiliency, but there are ways of doing things in a sort of smarter, more efficient way that make Zook consensus protocol, which is what we're launching with 2.0, much more efficient in its operation, resulting in more flexibility in block times, more basically no upper, or I should say lower limit on block times, which we're excited about sort of moving that needle along. Um, then what else? We're shipping a new virtual machine, which we're activating in 2.1, making Casper one of the first and possibly the first protocol that allows you to deploy smart contracts targeting different virtual machines depending on the transaction, right? So we're going to have multiple virtual machines living side by side on the protocol, which is exciting. We've done a lot of sort of architectural changes, which I won't go too deep into, but save it to say that these were made to make the node and the protocol more resilient and more performant, and that's proving and showing in testing. We are shipping with a new fee model for gas. Again, that's something that will get tweaked and activated over the course of sort of the 2x minor releases, but ultimately this will result in essentially free transactions, which you can just imagine sort of self-paying transactions that can run in perpetuity. That means you can actually, if you combine that with what we see in sort of the AI space, you can now really talk about sort of self-perpetuating applications that are completely decentralized and sort of pay for themselves and run forever, right? So we're excited about that. We're also planning on account and contract unification, which is basically making it so that there's no distinction anymore between whether you're an account or a smart contract, meaning a smart contract can do anything what an account can, and vice versa. Sort of similar to account abstraction. And there are various sort of just functionality and interface and feature improvements for developers that we're excited about. So, for example, in the context of what I just mentioned, contracts can now directly natively stake on the network and participate in sort of the proof of stake consensus. Which again does something natively and therefore more securely from a security perspective, if you want to implement liquid staking, right? So Casper is a proof of stake chain. It has a fairly high APY, which is attractive for people looking to participate in proof of stake and get yield on it. If you look at other implementations of liquid staking, there a lot of the sort of the functionality is moved to the smart contract layer, which obviously is a vector for potential exploits and security risks. In Casper again, most of this is on sort of the native protocol level, which just eliminates a lot of those risks. So we're excited about launching that in conjunction with the 2.0 launch.
So we obviously know how big Casper 2.0 is going to be, especially after hearing what Michael is telling us. Like all of these efficiencies, everything that's happening around Casper 2.0 is going to really kind of pave a way to not only DeFi becoming a massive game changer on Casper, but it's going to also allow for enterprise grade adoption to really kind of become a reality in a huge way. It's going to unlock so much more efficiencies around Casper. I really do think that people need to pay attention to what happens with these upgrades, because we've seen this in the past. I mean, go all the way back to ADA during 2020. It was terrible, right? Nobody cared about ADA. Everyone ignored it. The price action was horrible. It got a huge upgrade. All of a sudden, the ecosystem started to expand rapidly. Everyone started to talk about, ADA, and it became one of the biggest winners during 2021. In this case, we already are preparing for Casper 2.0. We've been waiting for Casper 2.0 for so long, and we see already some of the big players like Casper.live, doing maintenance in preparation for Casper 2.0. Michael also did post about how We Are Team Make is rolling out the Casper 2.0 ready versions of its major components, which does also include, Casper.live, but also Casper Wallets and other big components of Casper. And he was also on Crypto Charged their YouTube channel, doing an interview where he did say that Casper 2.0 could hit the testnet as soon as Monday. So check this one out.
We are going to be releasing sort of the staging instructions to the testnet validators later this week, meaning the testnet validators will be putting Casper 2.0 on their nodes, and that will activate hopefully on Monday of next week. So we're as we're recording this, a week out from activating Casper 2.0 on testnet.
So again, 2.0 it's moving pretty quick now, and it seems as though this could very well be live by the end of the quarter. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it did kind of push into quarter two, but regardless, we're starting to see a lot of moves being made around Casper, a lot more than what was being made for the last few years when the team around Casper Labs, aka Prove AI, was in charge. So I'm very excited about this. I think that we're about to see some pretty big news happening around Casper, some pretty big moves as well. And I think that the adoption around Casper is also going to grow significantly from here on out. And again, I'm still a big supporter of Casper. I still hold my Casper, and I'm still very bullish on the future for Casper as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.